Hello, folks. Not any pomp and circumstance or any flair for this video. Um, you've heard, of course, by now about what happened with Charlie Kirk. You probably heard within an hour, like most of us did, about his assassination, murder, death, killing, and whatever other word you want to attach to it. Um, my students, some of them ask me, what do you think of it? And I'm, I fully believe that education cannot be indoctrination, cannot be anything where we tell the kids you've got to be good little leftists or good little rightists or good little Marxists or whatever. Um, I really desperately try to lay out the facts of each ideology that we cover, and I let the kids decide. You know, kids always ask me, who do you vote for? And I always say, none of your business. But I say, be logical about it. And, you know, if I'm someone who has 3 young kids at home and prices are going up and it's going to cost me $50, $60, $70 a day for daycare, which is what it costs now, um, you know, which political party would I likely be attracted to? Well, the one that offers free daycare or subsidized daycare. And that's just math, right? You can stand by your convictions and say I'll never vote for any type of a socialist type government, but if you can't pay your bills, sometimes it's like, well, for this portion of my life, maybe. Now, if you're watching this, you might disagree with me, and of course, I welcome that. That's fine. That's what good societies do. That's what healthy societies do, and it's um, not something worth killing over, right? Your political ideology, it's not worth killing over. And unfortunately, some people have been convinced of that. They've been convinced that if I disagree with you, I should disagree with you to death. I look at who the arrested man is, if he's the shooter, um, and in my mind, from what we know of him, there's no reason why he should have killed anybody. But he did. So that needs to be explored. That needs to be investigated. And hopefully some answers come out. Hopefully he can say why. And if it's just that he's been radicalized by other people to commit murder and now they're cheering about it, they're celebrating Charlie's death, then that's a tragedy of its own. Someone got convinced to squeeze a trigger and end a life because of disagreement. And of course, Charlie, I saw some of his videos. I didn't go to any rallies, and I would rarely watch entire videos of his when they're the long ones, right? But I saw the stuff that got put on, and of course, it's cut and it's edited for length, and sometimes just because it's about a single issue. Um, but I really wonder what is going on in this young man's life that he believes that killing is the answer. And I think the saddest part now is that Charlie should be remembered for his entire premise for existence, which was communication, which was talking, which was working things out. And now I'm seeing some elements on the right, the people who love Charlie, who follow Charlie, who I won't say worship Charlie, but who advocated for everything he did. Now they're calling for, we are now in a struggle. It's a life and death struggle, and we are going to fight you now. Now we're going to fight you. We're done talking. It's obvious you don't want to talk, so we're going to fight you. And I know that's frustration. I know that's it's just hot talk, right? It's right after what happened, and you got people on the left celebrating it. Obviously, very few. I don't think that's the majority of people are walking around cheering that an assassination happened. Um, I I I believe, I'd like to believe that most people are going, Okay, I didn't like him. I didn't really agree with everything he stood for, but he shouldn't have been murdered for it. I believe that's what should be coming out of the left right now. I think that would be a good response. And I've seen some of that. I've seen quite a bit of that actually, which is comforting. Um, but there's been enough of the opposite where they're celebrating, they're cheering, they're laughing, they're mocking. They're suggesting now kill Trump, now kill these other Michael Knowles and kill these other people, right? And it's like you've lost your way. You've lost the plot of what America should be. Because America, as a Canadian, I look at America and I say, America uh, has the potential to be the greatest country ever. But for some reason, it seems hell bent on self destruction. It seems hell bent on internal conflict instead of internal cooperation. And I think that most people do want to get along. I think most people do want peace. Most people do want understanding. I think it's the hotheads who are getting a lot of the press right now because if it bleeds, it leads, right? Right? The more emotion that there is in it, the more destruction there is in it. That's what's going to happen. That's what you're going to see. I'm not going to get any thing on my feeds that says people from the left are having a vigil in silent prayer for Charlie. Like, I don't know if that happened, but I have to believe it did somewhere. I have to believe some people got together and said, this can't go on. We can't continue down this road because now, who's going to get targeted on the left? And then it'll be, well, you shot ours, so we're going to shoot yours, and then you shoot ours, and then it just grows, right? The hatred grows, and the hate wins. And since Charlie was an advocate of communication, bullets flying is not what he wanted. Yes, he was a big defender of the Second Amendment, but not so that you can go and shoot people, right? It's to keep your tyrannical government in check. And for some reason, again, it's misquoted, it's cut, it's edited, it's sanitized to be used politically. And as he's a gun waving, violent guy, and it's the exact opposite. And you can have both viewpoints. You can be for guns and the freedom and the right to bear arms, and you can be for communication is the key. That's just logic. But logic seems to have taken a bit of a back seat these days. And that's with people from all stripes. And lost in all of this is Charlie's family, his wife and two kids. And I think as a dad, that's what hurts me a lot. So I've got a son, I've got a wife, and I know that if I were to disappear today, I'd like to think I have raised my son. He's in his 20s, and my wife has received enough love and support from me that it's not going to be the same as what happened with Charlie's family, right? Married for a lot fewer years. His wife's very young and two very young daughters, and they don't know their daddy, the way kids should, right? They know him as, I think they were 3 and 5 or something like that, like really, really young. And they're never going to know their daddy from the perspective of a teenager who's going through a rough time, of a bride walking down the aisle to meet her groom. They're not going to have daddy give her away, they're going to have none of that. That's been taken from them. His wisdom, his guidance, his love and protection, it's all been snatched away by a bullet. And that, to me, is, for them anyway, it must be the greater tragedy. There are a lot of people standing up now and saying, I'm going to put up a microphone and I'm going to start communicating. And that's great. That's exactly what Charlie would love. He wouldn't want people rising up and saying, now we have a fight on our hands. He would want us standing up and saying, hey, here's another table, another microphone, please come talk. Please. Okay, let's talk. I will use logic. You bring your emotions, and hopefully we can find some common ground. Because that's what he lived for, and that's what he died for. So I'm sorry this isn't scripted, but these aren't random thoughts. I've been working through a lot of stuff the past couple of days, and treading on eggshells in my school, absolutely, especially in Canada. But I think that if we, as a community I hope anyway, critical thinkers, I hope that we can agree on enough that we don't believe that violence is now the only option we have. We play all these games, right? We play all these games where we push little plastic pieces and cardboard counters around, and we mourn the dice rolls that we do, and the dumb mistakes that we make. But they represent exactly what Charlie spoke out against. They represent what happens when you stop communicating, when you stop talking, and you say, I have my way. If you don't agree, you're the enemy, and you must go away. Charlie didn't say go away. Charlie said, I'm not your enemy. I have a different viewpoint, and I want you to come and talk with me. I want you to come and speak with me. I want you to come and open up in a dialogue, and one of us will be changed by the end of it. And, he was a beautiful man, beautiful soul. And whether you agree with everything he said or not, I hope you can agree that we need to put down our pitchforks, put down the torches, and get back to the table that Charlie had set, and continue that on, and speak. I hope the emotional bonfire that is burning in a lot of people right now can kind of burn down, not disappear. We need those passions, but this huge wall of flame that is now separating the left and the right even more. That needs to burn down. That needs to die down so that we can have a dialogue, and then we're talking clearly. We're not talking through flames. We're not talking through smoke. We're talking clearly so we can each be heard and understood. And again, conflict is inevitable, but let's make the conflict, I don't agree with your idea on this issue, but you're more than willing to have it. Last thing I'll share with you are the 3 rules. I just call them Purdy's rules for debate. I give them to my philosophy class. And rule number 1 is, if it's not about you, it's not personal. So unless somebody's saying something about you, if it's just an issue that you disagree with, it's not personal, so don't take it personally. Okay, so that's the first rule. The second rule is that answers do not always have to be given immediately, right? You don't need a solution in the heat of the moment. So sometimes somebody will, give you a statement, and your reaction will be, boy, that's, that can't be right. That's terrible. Just tell the person, hey, that's interesting information. I'm going to go do some research. Let's talk tomorrow. You can do that. It's not against the rules, right? But everybody, for some reason, thinks that I have to be like Charlie Kirk, or I have to be like Dinesh D'Souza, or I have to be like, Ben Shapiro. I have to be like these other people. No, you don't. Just say, that's very interesting. I never knew that information. I'm going to go do some research. I'll buy you coffee tomorrow. So that's the second rule. You don't need to solve every problem right now. Some, yes. But typically in debates, you never have to solve that problem right now. And the third rule of my debates is that the truth does not depend on me. I am not the person that will have to answer to everybody, to the world, to society, and because the truth, that doesn't originate with me. And for anyone who says it does, that's a problem. And I think that's what made Charlie so vibrant, is that he knew where his truth came from. He didn't put it on himself. He didn't look at it and say that I've made these rules or I've made these situations. He said, this is logic. Right? This is what it is. So if you're going to be debating with people, I had somebody try to tear a strip out of me on Facebook, and I've just walked away from it for a while. I'll go back in a little while. Another guy said something to me, and I sent him a message a couple hours later, just saying, I think you misunderstood. And then he came back with, oh, that's what you meant. Yeah, I misunderstood. Because as we know in text, a lot gets lost in translation. But when you debate people going forward here, if you're going to argue, if you're going to be at work and people are celebrating what's happened, or people are whatever, just another guy, and you know, that could really upset you. But remember, if it's not about you, it's not personal. You don't need to have all the answers immediately, and truth does not depend on you. All right? Get your truth someplace else. Don't put that pressure on yourself. You don't need it. I wish you all a peaceful, blessed day, and let's keep it civil. Let's keep looking out for each other. Let's keep encouraging each other. And I believe we can come back from this. I believe that we can come back healthier. But it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take a lot of humility. It's going to take a lot of love. Have yourselves a great day, folks.